Alright, now time for a refresher on how the class trial works. Now,
We do not care, Monokuma. We are not going to listen to you. We do not have to do what you want. We know how the trials work. This is our fifth. Jesus.
even if it's the fifth one we've done, it's still just not the same. I mean, look around us. There are way more corpses than there used to be. There only used to be one person who had died, but now look, it's just the six of us. And to make matters worse, we're about to lose another person, knowing one of us killed Leonardo. Sorry, man. Don't we not already know who the killer is? It's clearly Monokuma. Oh, you think it's me? It was your explosion that killed Leonardo. We all saw it before our eyes. It was clearly you. I know I'm not the only one who thinks Monokuma should die here, but I really don't think it could be Monokuma. I know of something that proves this to be the reason. I'll have to show it to all of them so they can listen. After we had cornered you, you decide to detonate yourself so you would explode and fail our trap. And then Leo came over and grabbed you and flung you into the air. And although he flung you, the explosion must have killed him, because his death was found right after the explosion, so it was you who killed him. No, that's wrong. As much as I hate to say it, I don't think the killer is Monokuma.
Why so? What's the evidence?
Well, we have clear evidence. I mean, the Monokuma files stated that it was a kill from the roof, not the explosion. But wait, didn't Monokuma's explosion is what happened that made the roof fall on him? It was caused by the explosion. That would be true if the roof wasn't cut off beforehand. Although we might not have proof that it was, we need to look over other things before we can make a assertive conclusion. But then what exactly else is there we can look over?
Well, maybe the order of events during when we were chasing Monokuma. That could have done it.
Yeah, there were lots of strange things that happened during that chase. I think it would be best we understand what happened for thoroughly. Is it truly best we talk about this now? I mean, he's listening right above us. He would know the plan.
I don't think we have another choice. Just let him listen. It's just all we can do.
Alright, the order of events during the chase. Certainly I can figure that out. And there were a lot of strange happenings during that didn't make a whole lot of sense. But we'll just go over it first, see if I can find anything strange. Well, me, Purple, and Rilu went into the vent and stuck into Monokuma's office. From there, we lured him out of it. Once he ran off, the three of us split away, and in his own way, me and Rilu went downstairs to the basement. And while I was downstairs, I heard Monokuma running through the vent because there was a rustling noise coming from it. No, that's wrong. Squirtle, I keep thinking about this rustling noise you stated in the vents, but I can't help but think there might actually be a reason for something other than being Monokuma in that vent. Something else was in those vents besides Monokuma? You're not gonna say it's me, right? No, I was saying it's an object. An object? What could you mean, Rilu? During the investigation, I went downstairs to the basement with Squirtle, and there was a dusty ball. A dust-covered ball? What does that have to do with anything? First of all, vents are really dusty. If something were, and lots of the things in the basement were surprisingly clean. If something was, rolled into the vents, it would have fallen. And also, Shadow used the vents during his case to get away from Princess Peach. I don't think that vent was ever put back, now was it?
No, I think the vent was still out. I don't think it was ever put back.
So then, someone rolled the ball into the vent as, like, a distraction. That simple. I'll kill your logic. Rilu, you're still missing some very important information. Oh, great. What am I missing? Oh, well, surprisingly, it's not that obvious to you. Well then, I'll make you change your mind. You see that someone rolled a ball down the vents. I don't think that would be possible. All of us were in specific rooms, were we not? Ugh. Just because we were in specific rooms doesn't mean any of us could have just left. Ugh. That would be true. Also, but just because Shadow's vent was open, there would have to be another point where it was rolled from a different vent. And there wasn't a visible point that showed us this other vent. No, that's wrong. Purple, what if I told you there was another vent that was open? Where? At the bottom of the stairs, the way leading there, Domo and Poplio found an open vent sitting right there. Oh, that's right, we did find an open vent. We didn't know what it was used for, though.
So, the killer took the ball and rolled it down into the vent. That's reasonable logic.
Yes, after Squirtle, Squirtle went with me and Purple stayed downstairs. We went up and we saw Leo and, well, we think we saw Leonardo running across towards the stairs near that vent. Yeah, he was running towards the corner of the stairs. The corner of the stairs? Why was he running over there? That leads to a dead end, doesn't it? Well, yeah, that's why we thought it was strange. We saw him run over, but he just disappeared. That wouldn't make sense, because he went downstairs. He found me downstairs and stayed with me for a while, until Monokuma came out and we chased you guys back up. So you're saying they straight up vanished? That's awfully strange. And I don't seem that possible if it leads to a dead end. Are you sure you didn't see anyone else?
I don't know. It's awful. Yeah, I must agree with Relio and Squirtle, though. But there was an open vent. How do we know they just didn't go in there?
The vents are really small. Most of us couldn't fit, except for Purple, that is, but that just doesn't seem possible. Oh my, are we in another split? Shall we do a scrum debate? God, I hate it anytime we do these. Whatever. Let's just get it over with. There's no way that person could have been Leonardo. We have no proof. I'll do. We might actually have proof. There's one thing we have yet to discuss. It would have led the culprit to a dead end. How would they even get out?
Dumb. We already know there was a vent. They could have jumped into the vent.
But that wouldn't make sense, because Leonardo came from the stairs, not from the vents. Squirtle. They didn't actually have to travel in the vents. They could have just stayed in there and waited until me and Rilu left. See? Then that person we saw could not have been Leonardo. I'll do it. That's what we keep saying, but there's no other conclusion. Leonardo must have been there, because we heard his voice. This is our answer. See? It must have been Leonardo at the scene. There's no other option.
Just take a minute. Really, we still haven't solved one thing. There's still something we need to figure out.
Alright, what is this thing?
Although Squirrel may have seen and heard Leonardo, this still doesn't mean he was ever there. Plus, although he could have been hiding in the vents, it would have been too small, especially for him. And we already know Leo was downstairs with Purple.
No, I'll cut through your words. Yes, it's true that Purple said that Leo went downstairs with her, but she never said what time he arrived. Oh, that's right. It was about 5 minutes after you guys left. 5 minutes. That changes a lot, doesn't it? So, he did have time to hide. Interesting. But we heard Leo's voice. How does it... so he had to have been there. Everyone just stop. I think I have a theory on what happened. A theory?
On, like, Leonardo? Why he moved from the vents and appeared for Purple?
What are you stating, Pop Leo? I'm up for hearing it, totally, but I'm curious on what it is. I know, so just let me explain, everyone. You might agree with me. We know that Leonardo couldn't fit in the vent, but anyways, he went to the end of the stairs, and somehow disappeared. That's what Squirrel saw, right?
Yes, that's what I saw.
But remember, in one of the rooms where all the bodies were being held, there was a missing body. I'm just curious if that person we saw running could have been the dead body. I agree with that. That's actually a valid point. We have the body deceased order note, and it said someone was missing, so yeah, that must be it. Wait. You say someone dead body woke up and then started moving? How does that work? Well, I'm just saying that it might have not have been a Leonardo we saw running. It might have been some trap of sorts. Did you really see Leonardo run?
No, I didn't really get a good view. I just saw something move across the room.
So someone moved a dead body across? But that's awfully strange.
Yeah, plus, listen, Papa, if you really say it was someone, then whose dead body would it be? I mean, don't we have the body deceased order?
I have that order on the bodies right here. The one that isn't filled in is the one that was missing. So we just gotta figure out what the damn order of use means, and then we can figure this out. The order of use note. It's the third one that's missing, and by looking at the note, I should be able to know who is the missing body. You're the only one! I believe that the missing body is Mugman's. He's the one missing. What would be the reason for them using Mugman's body specifically if they had so many other options? If the killer had multiple options of bodies, what would be the reason why they would use Mugman specifically? Maybe as some sort of trick. Like, maybe they had something, I don't know, difference between each other?
No, I think it had to maybe do with something that they had similar to each other.
I agree with that. Yes, that's it. They had something similar to each other. Mugman and Leonardo shared what with each other? Let me show you. With the motive folder, we can learn something interesting. Take a look. Both Mugman and Leonardo are the same height. The height? What does the height have to do with anything? Well, remember, Leonardo is trying to hide. If Leonardo took the body, there would be a reason. They would put it inside the vent. But if they're the same size, then they wouldn't fit in the vent. That's not true, because unlike Leonardo, Mugman doesn't have his head. Mugman doesn't have a head. That's because Yoshi smashed it off, right? Exactly. They're the same size. The similarity in size would make the illusion that he was the one running from side to side. Because they're the exact same size, that's what made us think that we saw Leonardo running. And they could hide Mugman's body because he didn't have a head. And the head would have stopped him from fitting through the vent. But because he doesn't have it, they were able to put his body into the vent and hide it secretly. Well, I'm gonna have to go grab that body once this trials is over, because I'm not gonna let something decay that's going to waste on perfectly good use. Okay, but then that raises an interesting question for you to ponder about. If Mugman's body was taken, then are you saying Leonardo simply hit the body? Like, where would he even hide it? On the stairs? Yeah, leaving a body in the open wouldn't make sense. Did they already hide it in the vent? No, because then they would have to pull the body right back out and move over to the other side of the staircase. Well then, did the culprit hide it in an area that no one would look, or isn't easy to see? I agree with that. Yes, how about there was a secret storage area that Domo and Poplio found on the stairs?
Oh yeah, the little storage area. You're saying they hid Mugman's body there?
None of us knew about it beforehand, so it wouldn't be easy for us to find it. So that would make sense. Alright, we're getting somewhere with this case. We still have a lot to discuss, but we're gonna do it. I don't want to find out the killer, but lots of the evidence is pointing to something I have in mind I do not like. Could Leonardo have killed himself?